Hi, I'm Rachel and welcome to How to Connect with Goddess Neith. Goddess Neith is the ancient Egyptian goddess of weaving, warcraft, of creation and of wisdom. Her name means the great she or the one, and she was honored as the creative power, force and mother of the universe and all of creation. She's also one of 4 funerary goddesses, and she's also associated with the life and death cycle, with Saturn, so your Saturn return, also with the cobra, with the great cow and the east. So here are my top 3 tips for connecting with Goddess Neith. My first is to connect in with her symbol of the bow and arrow. And often you'll find in her hieroglyphs and in her statues, she has either the shield and the arrows or the bow and arrow. And this is really in reference to her as a warrior goddess. And it reminds us of her great courage, but also her wisdom. So you may want to have an actual bow and arrow on your altar. You may want to engage perhaps in archery. And you may want to also just have that in mind, or an image of a bow and arrow as a reminder of wisdom. She really teaches us of discernment. So choosing what to say, think and do, reminding us that we always have a choice and to come deep into our inner wisdom, to trust it, to honor it as well, and to truly listen. So forgetting about the conditions, the judgments and all the expectations that are around us, or even the way that we were brought up, but coming into alignment with our truth. Because of the bow and arrow association, you may also want to kind of honor her as a goddess of Sagittarius. So this is the zodiac sign, and she's a potent ally for those that are Sagittarius, but also to honor her during this time of the Sagittarius. Her 2 sacred festivals actually went from the equinox, the autumn equinox, through to winter solstice. So this is a potent time to be doing any ritual or ceremony for her. And we're going to discuss a few things now that you could include in that. So my second tip is actually connect to her as the goddess of weaving. So she wove into creation everything that is and was and created the web of life. So you may want to again have on your altar or in your space or work with any items that are associated with weaving, such as cloth or the loom or the shuttle. You can also engage in activities that are like weaving, so knitting, braiding, weaving itself on a loom, or just even plaits, if you want something really basic. And you may want to have items that you have created yourself, through any of those activities. And you may also actually want to use the activity in itself as a meditative time or a time for reflection. So as you're weaving or braiding or plaiting, or even creating a knot, do so with a sacred intent and use it as a meditative activity, and to weave in that intent as you're doing that activity. Remember your potentiality and your creative force, and ask Neith to come in and help you to weave with pure and true intent, and to really align and use discernment and courage to create whatever it is that you wish to create. My third tip is to connect and use her sacred color of red. So she was the great mother of Lower Egypt, and she had upon her head the red crown, which was later also used by the pharaohs, and then even later combined with the white crown of Upper Egypt, and they were put together. So this red crown is really reminding us of roots, of blood, of lineage, of belonging, of identity, of earth energy and earth wisdom. So there's a few ways you may want to connect in with this. One is to create a red crown. You may want to also use the color red, perhaps in your altar, in a cloth or in your clothing, a red top like this. You may also want to work with the root chakra and any of its themes, every movement, meditation, what you're eating, the activities that you do, or just reading about it. And you might also want to bring the earth into your ceremony as well. So in her temples, it was known that she had many, many plants, and trees, and really all of these reminders of her as the creation goddess. So you may want to, in your space, again, in your altar, bring in plants and flowers as a reminder of that first day of creation, when she brought all forth from herself to come and bloom and to be alive. You may also want to work with nature more, or do any of these ceremonies activities outside in nature. So those are my top 3 tips. To learn more, to ask any questions, or discover more about Goddess, her wisdom, her energy, her healing, and her work, then pop along to my Facebook group. You're more than welcome to come and join thousands of women from all over the world who are sharing the Goddess and her work. And I also have meditations and courses as well on my website, and I'd love to see you there again very, very soon. So sharing lots of love with you, and many blessings for your journey with Goddess Neith. Blessed be.